Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Thunder, and today we're going to be working on the melee system. So first I did was I just created in the animations folder, I just created the animations for the stone hatchet. But then we're going to do one more thing. So go into animations, go into base, and create a new folder. We're going to call it fire guns. And we're going to put all of this into fire guns. Then we're going to create another folder and we're going to call it melee. And over here we're going to create a animator controller. We're going to call it melee-base. And then we're going to create a animation, a total of 6 animations, one for drawing, so taking out the hatchet, another one for idle. We're going to create another one for run. And you do not have to set loop time in this because this is just going to be the base. So basically the template we're going to base all of our melee weapons off. So go ahead and keep creating them. We're going to create another one and call it swing. Then we're going to create 2 more. One's going to be miss. So whenever we miss, there's nothing to hit. And then hit, which I think the name's pretty self-explanatory. Alright, so having done this, go into melee. And then over here, we are going to create we're going to, not idle, sorry. Drag, draw. Then drag idle. And right click on draw, make transition idle. And when you click on the transition, this arrow right here, just put it all the way here and then drag this over there so it lines up. Then we're going to go ahead and do run right down here. And we're going to make 2 transitions just like before. So go ahead and make both of them, but disable exit time on both, and do leave the smoothing of it, so leave it just like this. Now we're going to create a new parameter. We're going a boolean, and it's going to be called running. Then we're going to do running. If it's true, we go from idle to run, and if it's false, we go from running to idle. Alright, so that's the basic part of it. Next thing, we're going to have to do swing right here. And we're going to make it so we can only hit if we're idle. So on this transition, disable the exit time, and the smoothing, do it up to here, and then drag this right here. And we're going to add a trigger, and this is going to be called swing. Then we're gonna add 2 more. One's gonna be called hit, and another the other trigger is gonna be called miss. So now go down here, and over here we're gonna add this, and click on running and click on swing. So it's going to be whenever we do swing trigger, we go ahead and swing. Then drag your miss animation. I'm gonna put it right over here, and then your hit animation, just gonna put it right here, just gonna put it right there. And then we are going to make a couple of more things. First, make a transition from swing to hit. Okay, sorry guys, I didn't realize I accidentally stopped the recording. So as I was saying, on hit, then you're going to right click, make transition, and then gonna make a transition to idle. And same thing for miss, right click, make transition, then make it to idle. And right here, you're gonna leave the exit time, but just remember, drag this smoothing all the way here and then drag this here. So same thing over here, leave exit time, you should have the smoothing like this. So just drag it over here, then drag this here. And that's it for the animator. Now we're going to go into animations, stone hatchet. And right here, either whether you have my animations, so these animations that are right here, or whether you make your own or download some others, you're going to need these 6 animations. So swing, hit, miss, idle, draw, and run. So over here you do have to enable loop times for the animations that are needed. So that will be run and idle. That's it. Then we're going to go ahead and right click, create animator override controller. I'm gonna name it Stone Hatchet. And then we're going to derive from the melee instead of the weapon base. Now just drag your animations into here and it's all set up for the animation part. Well, actually there's one more thing we have to do, but it's literally a second. So over here I'm leaving this prefab, the Stone Hatchet prefab. I'm gonna leave it down in the description for you guys. So go into your Stone Hatchet animator, drag the animator override into here, and then right on here add the weapon component and the audio source. The reason this is already here is because, again, didn't realize I had pressed the stop recording key. Okay, so next thing, there's one simple detail I want to explain. So right here we have our animations. So swing is what's going to get executed whenever we actually try to attack. But notice one thing, how it ends. It's just cutting straight. So it starts here, but then ends here. Why is that? This exact position that it ends at is where miss and hit start at. So basically, when the swing animation stops, it's going to check for a hit. So if it's hitting something, if it's not hitting, it's going to press the miss animation. So this one, and it will look like we missed. If there's actually something hitting, it's going to play this one. And then on this one, we're going to put an animation event, which is basically to play a function on a specific time. So we're going to put a animation event right on the hit part of the animation, and then that's when we'll do the damage. So as you can see, this is the last part, hits and goes back to idle. So that's pretty much it, all I wanted to explain. So I'm going to go ahead and deactivate it. But what I am going to do is drag my shoot point over here and the data. You don't really have to do the bullet hole thing. So for my shoot point, I just use my main camera. Just if you're using a different thing, drag it over there. Also, just keep one thing. The shoot point doesn't have to be the same for all weapons. Just saying this in case you want to do the shoot point on the barrel. You don't really need to put it on the same spot as others. All you have to do is just make a shoot point per weapon and drag it to the weapon script. Okay guys, sorry I had to stop. So, okay, let's go ahead and get into actual coding. So open up Visual Studio, your weapon script, and I'm just gonna go back to this. Alright, so next thing we're going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and close the shooting section, and let's create a new region, hashtag region, and I'm gonna call it melee functions. And all we really need here is, it's gonna be 3 functions, and that's pretty much it actually. It's gonna be pretty simple. We're gonna do public void swing, public void, I believe, miss. Okay, wait. And then public void, and we're going to do hit, which honestly this is going to be the most complicated one, which will still be really simple. So on swing, all we're going to do is we're going to do anim.setTrigger and we'll do swing. Just make sure to spell it exactly as you wrote it on your animator. Also go back here, actually let's do it here, and we're going to do one more function. So public void check for hit, okay, and over here let's add a couple of checks. So actually what we're going to do is just go to your weapon functions and copy this, and we're gonna do one more thing just to fix a quick bug that I realized there was. Okay, never mind, we didn't fix any of them. Okay, forget about that. So let's go ahead and on here we're going to copy this, paste it, and that's going to be it for swing. Check for hit is where we'll check for hit. So we're going to do raycast hit if physics. But over here we're not gonna do raycast. We're gonna do sphere cast. The reason we're doing this is because raycast is basically a thin line, which works perfectly for bullets. But when it comes to melee, it's really complicated because of the fact that it won't work as supposed. You have to be really precise. So what I usually do for melee, and most people do, is just use sphere cast instead. So this way, what it does, instead of a thin line, it draws a sphere, and it's a wider range of impact. So first, let's go into Unity. I'm gonna create an empty. You don't have to do this. And to that empty, we're going to add the sphere collider component, and we're going to just look at it and see its default value. We can see it's 0.5, and I'm gonna do 0.2. Let's go with that. That should be a good enough value. So back into here, we're gonna do sphere cast, and we're gonna do transform dot not transform dot position. We're gonna do shoot point dot position, comma, and over here we're gonna put the radius of this sphere, which is what I was just talking about. So I'm gonna do 0.2, comma, I believe is shoot point dot forward, comma, out hit, comma, the range. So we're just gonna we're gonna use a different name for that. So let's go into item SO, and let's just use this one. Never mind. We're gonna do weapon data dot range, comma, and we're gonna put the hittable layers. Is that how it's called? Okay, we have it as shootable layers. So let's just put that, and there we go. That's our check for hit function. And over here, if it's physics.raycast, we execute hit. Otherwise, we'll execute miss. So we don't really have to check for anything because physics.spherecast already checks for collision. So we're going to do else miss. And now we're going to code these two functions. So first, copy the sphere cast code and put it on hit. And now let's go and code miss. Miss, all we do is anim that set trigger miss. Okay. Quotes, and we do miss with a capital M. And that's it. That's all for it. Now on hit, delete this right here, and actually we're gonna delete this, copy it though because we're gonna need it later, and we're going to do anim dot set trigger, and we're gonna do hit. Then we'll make a separate function where it's going to be called public void execute hit. The reason I'm doing it here is because we want the hit to be played on the specific animation frame that we actually end up hitting. So we don't want it just to be like in the mid swing where it still hasn't hit anything. It does the damage and all of that stuff. Especially for the farming system, we want to gather resources when we hit something. So execute hit, again, paste your sphere cast code, and all we're going to do is pretty much we're not going to do anything because right now we don't have any AI or damage system or anything like that. Just go up here and do breakcast hit, hit. And that's almost it for the melee system. So let's go back here to the survival game, to the Unity, and we're going to go into scripts, and we're going to go into weapons. Right here we're going to create a new script called melee anim event handler. So this is being created because animation events basically get the scripts from their game object. They cannot get scripts on top. So what we're going to do is this script will be attached to our melee weapons animator, and we'll play a function in here that basically just executes the function from weapon. So we're going to do public void execute hit, and then all this will do is get component in parent weapon dot execute hit, and then we're going to create another one called check for hit. So public void check for hit, and again same thing, get component in parent weapon, and then just do check for hit. And I'm pretty sure that should be all for the code. So let's go in here. And there's still one more thing we have to do on code, but it's not related to the melee system. It's mostly bug fixing. So right now, go into your player, go into your stone hatchet, and right where it says stone hatchet animator, we are going to attach the melee animation event handler. Then on the animator, let's go into animation. I'm gonna activate the stone hatchet just so I can see the animation, and deactivate the canvas. So on stone hatchet animator, select your swing, and then just find the exact frame you want the check to happen, which in my case is going to be the last frame. And then right here, this is to add an animation event. So we're gonna add it, select the event, and then click over here, and you can see your functions here. For this one, we're gonna do check for hit, and then we're gonna go to hit, the hit animation, and the exact frame where we hit. So this one, again, add another animation event, select it, and then do execute hit, and that's it for it. Now let's deactivate it. I'm going to do over here Ctrl C, Ctrl V, move this and assign it the stone hatchet. So stone hatchet, there we go. And I'm gonna make my stone hatchet a melee weapon. So just make sure to assign the right category to your items, the right type. So it's melee weapon for the melee weapons basically. It's pretty self-explanatory again. Okay, save it, and we're gonna do one more thing. Go back into weapon and go all the way up top. On update, we're gonna do right here, if input dot get key code, get key down. Okay, so here what we're going to do is, if you want, so you can hold your click and do it. Okay, sorry guys, as I was saying, If you want to just hold your click and do it, just do input.get key, the get button, sorry. So do it like this, that get button, input dot get button, and then just put fire1, and then right here just do swing. Now here's the thing, this, as long as you're pressing your button, it's going to execute hit. If you wanted to do it so you have to press the button for each hit, just do get button down. It's up to you, that's personal preference, how you want to for your game to work, so it's up to you on that. And then I'm just gonna check something. I'm gonna go to swing really quick. Okay, we are checking for this. Okay, right here on swing, do one more thing. Current fire rate equals 0. So go back into Unity and go to your melee weapon data on items. In my case is the stone hatchet, and right here I'm gonna add it like, I don't know, 0.5. Let's try that one. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit play. Okay, so let me pick up the, okay, I need to re-enable the canvas. Yeah, this is just because of the testing thing. So let me re-enable the canvas and then hit play. Alright, let's go ahead and test it. So okay. Let me check the slot script. So let's go into slot script because I think we haven't added support for melee weapons. Let me close this. Go to try use. Let's see where it is. Okay, we actually have it like this. So, okay, I know what happened. So go into your canvas, go into all menus, and right here where it says weapons, you can see I did not add my stone hatchet, so it's not gonna work. So go ahead and do that. Every time you create a new weapon, add it right here. Otherwise, it won't know that weapon exists. Pretty much that's the way it works. So go ahead and hit play, and now it should work. So let's try and equip it. Okay, now it's not working. Let me go ahead and check that again. So stone hatchet, it's okay. Forgot to add this stone hatchet data to the weapon. So let's go ahead and do stone hatchet right here. Alright, so let's go ahead and hit play. And let's try now. Hopefully it works. Alright, there we go. Okay, I need to fix the running animation for sure. Okay, let me check the code because I'm clicking, it doesn't work. So let's go to weapon. If weapon data that item types equals fire1, we do swing, and swing does anim that set triggers swing. Okay, so this is what happened. Right here, we need to do this. Okay, not here, sorry. Over here. Add current file, add this code basically. You can just straight up copy it from up here. And I'm not 100% sure that's what's happening, to be honest, but I think the issue, no, it's not on the start function. Transform the local position equals hit pause, player. Okay, let's go back and test it. So guys, I know this is kind of tedious, but this is pretty much game development. Things are not gonna work at the first time. You're gonna need to test them 100 times. And it's going to be annoying. Again, what I said, it's going to be annoying. It's already being annoying for me. So over here it's swing, running, swing, hit. Okay. Stone hatchet animator. I'm gonna disable maximize in place. Okay, well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause the video, fix it, and then I'll tell you guys how to do it. Okay guys, so here's what happened. Again, another example of how a single mistake, something that you forget about, can break the whole thing. So on draw, we forgot to add the takeout handler. So go ahead and select draw, add behavior, and select takeout handler. And just like last time, something like this happened. I haven't even tested it, but I'm almost certain that this is the issue. Yep, there he goes. It's always hitting, which I don't know why. Let me just check that the stone hatchet, yeah, player is disabled. This is labeled as player. So I don't really know why he's doing it. And I also have to speed up the swing animation. So let's go ahead and do that. And also, before we do anything else, let's fix a bug. So go into edit, project settings, and go into where it says input manager, axis, and right where it says fire 1, delete where it says mouse 0, not mouse 0, sorry, left control, delete it. Because right now we're shooting, if we crouch, we shoot, and if we press the mouse button, we're shooting, which that's intended. And for fire 1, left, I'll delete it. So now we can actually do things as intended. So let's go ahead and fix the actual error where we are hitting our player. So stone hatchet, we're using shootable layers, and player is disabled. So let's go over here and uncheck for hit. We're actually using shootable layers, which is actually kind of weird that it's not working. Okay, execute hit, shootable layers. Okay, should point that forward, we're using the weapon dot range. Okay, I know what's going on. Again, simple mistake. Actually, this one's totally on me, because our range is 200, so let's start it to something like 2. Actually, 2 is even a lot, because that's 2 meters. Okay, let me just enable maximize on play. Yeah, there we go, we miss. And right here, we're hitting, which is not supposed to do. We shouldn't be hitting any of that. So back into stone hatchet. Okay, what did I make its range to? Okay, I made the M-Force range 2. Into stone hatchet, I'm gonna make the range, let's go with 1.5, which is about the range we can interact, so that should work. So okay, we're missing, and if we go down here, we actually hit. I'm gonna go ahead and make the swing animation faster. You don't have to do this, because when I leave you guys the animation, all of these changes that I've made will be done. So I'm going to go ahead and just make it like 15 and move the event over here to 15. Alright, so let's go ahead and test it. And now we're going to solve one more bug we have. So I'm gonna pick up all of this. Also, just so you can see that the actual shotgun system works, I don't know if you guys took the time to just add the shotgun and changing values, which is all you should have had to do because all of it was set it up. But you can see if I have my inventory open and I hit click, it's actually going to shoot. So you can see it shooting. Same for the hatchet, you can see it like actually doing the swing. So we're gonna fix that in a moment. But I'm gonna go to a tree or something, and don't worry, I'll fix the running animation. I know it's extremely bad. Okay, so let's get over to the tree and try hit it. Right now we cannot get any resources, but we will do it in a future tutorial. So yeah, 1.5 is a pretty good range. And if you want to implement a pickaxe, all you really have to do is just go over here, duplicate the stone hatchet, and click on the stone hatchet model, and just delete it, and place your pickaxe right where the stone hatchet is, and there you go, you have another weapon. That's how simple it is for melee weapons. Obviously you're going to have to set up the whole data of it, but that's pretty much all you have to set up for a new melee weapon. And that's it, guys, we have the melee weapon system created. Although we're going to go ahead and fix the bug where we can shoot with the inventory open. So over here in the R key, I'm going to add a check, so n is not player dot window handler. Okay, what am I getting on the .get component? Actually, wait, no. I'm gonna go to the player definition and go into player, because we should have a window handler. Okay, we don't have a reference to a window handler, so let's go ahead and do that because that's gonna ease our work. So on player script up here, do a public window handler, and just do window handler. Then we're going to do over here window handler equals get component window handler, and that's it for this. So let's go back to our weapon script and actually over here do and it's not player dot window handler dot inventory dot open, and same thing right after, actually above update aiming, we're going to actually do it too. If window handler, if player dot window handler dot inventory, then we just return. Always keep in mind to take a look at the exclamation sign. So in this case, you can see right here there's no exclamation sign because we only want to do this if the inventory is not open and we're pressing the R key. And right here, as all of this code shouldn't be executed if we are actually, or inventory is open, I just do return. So I'm just doing if it's actually open, so keep in mind there's no exclamation sign, we go ahead and return. But what we're actually going to do is we're going to move this below update aiming. So let's do that. And in update aiming, which should be writing fire weapon functions, we're going to go ahead and do on the checks, we're going to do or again, and we're going to do player dot inventory dot window handler dot inventory dot open, and there we go. That's the bug fix. Okay, sorry, I had to stop. So let's go ahead and test it out. So I'm just gonna use the M4 for this one. Let's equip it, and I'm clicking. I don't know if you guys can hear it. You can still aim, which we're going to fix in a moment, but you cannot actually shoot. So let's fix the aiming thing, and that will be it. So on update aiming, we're just going to put our inventory, and I think I already recorded this. I don't know why I feel like I did, but okay, no, that's because I did it for that. Okay, so we're gonna do player.inventory.open that window handler, that inventory dot open on the shotgun shoot, because we need to do it on both. And same thing for the swing. So actually, never mind, we do not need to do that. So let's go back to update aiming. I'm just gonna right click on it to just go straight to it, and over here just do and is not. Okay. So we're gonna do and is not, so exclamation sign player dot window handler dot inventory dot open. Alright, and that's it. Okay, there is an error. Okay, I did not spell this completely. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit play. And just make sure that everything's working correctly, and if it is, that's it for the multi system. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the M4 and also pick up this weapon, the Hatchet, which is just 2 because that's the stack size of it. I forgot to set it to 1. Okay, I cannot even do anything. So we messed it up somewhere. Most likely, let's go all the way back to here. If player dot, okay, so we forgot to put, I forgot to put dot open. So if you also did, go ahead and put dot open. And let's go back to Unity and test it again for maybe the 1000th time. Sorry guys, it's 12 a.m. in the morning. Kind of tired, just trying to finish the tutorial. And also I'm trying to finish it too because I already want to get into the graphics of Halo 1. So okay, we can shoot. If it's open, I'm clicking both left and right, and it's not doing anything. And if we close it while aiming, you can see it goes back. Okay, sorry, I forgot to mute my sound, so you're gonna be hearing it. So that's it for this video, guys. Right now you have a fully fledged melee system. Let's go ahead and pick this up. So we're not adding actual hit sounds yet, just because of the fact that we have to do the surface data thing, and that's going to be done in a later tutorial. So basically what we're going to do is each object is going to have a specific surface, and we're going to be playing a specific effect and sound depending on where we hit. So if we hit here, it's going to play a rock sound, and it's going to play like little rocks going out. And same thing on wood, if we hit it, it's going to play an actual wood hitting sound, and we'll see pieces of bark going out. So, but right now that's not what we need to do. On next tutorial we're gonna be improving graphics and game feel, so I highly recommend you watch that, because first it's going to make your game look a lot better. I'm gonna show you how to do the water so it looks like this, because you can remember that before it looked pretty dull. I played around a little with it, and as you can see there's foam now on the shore, there's actual foam on the waves, and the colors were changed, so it looks a lot better. And then when we start adding image effects and a lot of things, it's gonna look 10 times better. So I recommend you watch next tutorial. Also, we're gonna be doing some visual things to the weapons, which are not really required, but I recommend you guys watch it so because it's gonna make your game a lot better. But that's it for this tutorial, guys. If you guys liked the video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and comment down below. It always helps a lot. Also, something that I've not been mentioning in the previous videos, and I just realized that, is that in the description I'm leaving the links to my game channel, my game's Discord, and the channel's Discord. This channel's Discord, I mean, where you can go in there, and if you have any errors, any issues, or any questions, you can ask me. I try to be as active as possible, and I'll answer your questions and help you guys. So in case you're having any trouble, you can go ahead, join, and ask me directly. And that's going to be it for the video, guys. I hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.